Good morning, everybody. What's up? And welcome to another fantastic stream of the Suzette Speak Show. Can you believe this is our first show of drumroll 2022? Y'all, I am so excited. Can you believe it? First, I want to give God thanks. God, we made it. Hallelujah. Bless your name, Father. We are here. We made it. It's another year. Can y'all believe it? I cannot even conceptualize. I was thinking this morning as I was exercising, I started my 2022 out with a workout. I was like, how do I start this? I had all these wonderful plans to go down to the beach and meditate and get deep and all that. I slept in, finally woke up, and I was like, you know what? I want my body to move. I want all my mind to I just want to be thankful that I'm not in a hospital and that I can move and I have all the use of my eyes, my ears, my limbs. So I just wanted to move, go in my backyard and just see the sun, look at the clouds, the way I appreciated it when we started this pandemic thing. Y'all remember? I'm so deep right now. Let me just say good morning and happy new year. I don't even want to get too deep. Happy new year. Drop a comment. Suzette Speaks here, representing for our co-host today, Jamaicans.com. Welcome to my folks watching on the Jamaicans.com Facebook page. Nice to see you. Welcome to all my folks watching on the Suzette Speaks Facebook pages, and to my YouTubers. Big up yourself. Love you, love you, love you. My special guest and I are going to wax philosophical a little bit today, but I was telling y'all the way we felt when we were giving God thanks for life, when we started this rough road called this pandemic. I don't know if you guys remember when we first locked down and the world was going crazy and we didn't know what we was going to do. And we were appreciative. No one was driving their cars. No one was on an airplane. The sky was clean, clear, sky blue. And I could just look up and just appreciate the sound of the birds. That's where I was this morning. So I apologize if I'm getting deep already, but Happy New Year to my people. Happy New Year. Thank you, Lord, that we're here, that we have the privilege to be among the living, that we can exercise. Like I said, I was in my exercise zone. I'm trying to lift weights, y'all. I'm trying to get that thing back for 2022. I'm trying to be good with my eating. You know, we all have our resolutions and all that. We'll handle that on my Patreon a little bit later. But overall, I just am grateful. Happy New Year, guys. Happy New Year. We're here. We are blessed just to breathe. We are blessed to see each other. We are blessed to be in one another's presence. We're blessed to be in the presence of God. So I'm just so grateful. Welcome. Y'all drop a comment. Let me know how you spent your New Year's Eve. Were you at home like me? I fell asleep 2 or 3 times. I woke up just in time to watch the ball drop. I love watching, if I'm not out, the ball drop in New York City. I was I was sleepy. I've been working out hard this week, so I was really tired. I laid down. You know when you're going to take that 15-minute power nap? That was me. 15-minute power nap turned into like a 2-hour nap. Woke up, dozed off again. Next thing I knew, it was actually the fireworks. People lighting fireworks outside. It was like, bah, bah. And I was like, oh my gosh, did I miss it? And it was like 11:45. And so I got to turn on the TV real quick and go see the ball drop. And I don't know, I would not have been in that crowd if I was in NYC. But hey, to each his own. Watching those people cold, huddled up, watching the ball drop in Times Square, got to count down and just welcome in a new year with a prayer. And then I went straight to my bed. My little cousin called me from Jersey. Big up LaShawn. LaShawn was in a talkative mood. I was like, girl, I'm tired. I got a show tomorrow. I got to get to my bed. But we caught up a little. And then it was sweet dreams for me. But how did you spend your New Year's Eve? Were you guys out? I was like, with all the news, I was like, you know what? This year, I'm going to spend it at home. I'm going to be quiet, reflective, but I ended up sleeping most of it, y'all. I ended up really in my bed, relaxing. But that's not a bad thing. I think, again, it's a privilege to be here. Let me shout out my people. Y'all drop a comment, drop some likes. I want to know what you did. Did you, stay home in a quiet space? Did you go out? Did you go somewhere, meditate kind of thing? Were you in a deep place? Were you in a kind of excited and festive place? Did you spend time with family? Did you pop some bubbly? They said champagne was in short supply. I just had my regular Moscato. Anything with bubbles is good. And I took a few sips, and I'm telling you, I was out. I was so tired. But I want to welcome you. I see so many of you in the chat. Please get the likes up. We want to bring on my special guest today. If you guys don't know me, if this is the first time you've caught my stream, well, welcome to you. This is the New Year's edition of the Suzette Speak Show. Welcome to my channel. I'm a YouTuber as well as a real life television host and attorney. I'm located here in South Florida. My roots stem from Jamaica. I have grown up here, so I feel like I'm the best of both worlds. I love talking about deep topics that affect us from the inside out. If you know, if you don't know my show yet, you wouldn't know that my guests tend to be folks who have a lot of wisdom and life experiences that I want you and me to learn from. I like to talk about things like personal development, emotional intelligence, how we can improve our mental health, how we can improve our relationships. So if you like that type of talk, this is the right place for you, y'all. Please hit the like button. Please subscribe. If you're not watching on YouTube, go over to YouTube. You can just Google me, Suzette Speaks, and you'll find the channel. So I wanted to get with my guest, y'all. I'm so excited to bring him on today. I met him years ago, and we finally get to connect on this platform. And I am grateful that I think he is the right person for the right time, honestly, that he was available and wanted to come talk about what we can do to prepare for the real, really prepare for 2022. When we are looking down a new year, some people are like, why do we make a big deal out of a new year? You can start over every day. But there's something special in our culture about the new year that makes us feel, like we're full of promise, like there's nothing we can't do, like we have a new start. So we're going to try to capitalize on that feeling and give you some real life steps of what you can do to help hopefully make this feeling stick. We need to focus, y'all. I don't know about you, but something that's in my spirit for the new year is focus. Stay focused. There's so many distractions, things that we can control. Things. Hit the like button, y'all. Get them likes up. I'm gonna bring Mr. Grant on in just a moment, but get the likes up. I want y'all to welcome him as he comes. But yeah, as I was saying, there's so many parts of our lives. Sometimes I feel overwhelmed with what I'm going to change and how I'm going to change it and what I need to do and what I didn't do and how I promised myself last year I wasn't going to do this or that. There's so much self-critique when it comes to New Year's. And I want us to get a little bit past that. I want us to start to draw on, recognizing why we're here. We need to recognize our purpose in other people's lives, right? When we focus on self, it's good. It depends on the season. But it's really amazing. It's really amazing when you are in tune enough with your gifts to know how they serve others. Y'all drop some comments. It's 2022, y'all. We're here. We're here. I can't believe it. Happy New Year. Before I start getting deep, let me go ahead and welcome my people. I want you to please hit the like button. If y'all don't know, I started a Patreon. We are going to do a quick reaction show right after this stream. So we're going to talk New Year's resolutions and just what we can do to plan mentally, spiritually, emotionally for a dynamic and outstanding and amazing 2022. So if you're not a member of the Patreon, go ahead and check me out. If you like deep conversations, I think you're going to enjoy it. So we have started already, but this will be the first Patreon stream for 2022. So come on and join us. Look up patreon.com. You see it right there on your screen, /Suzette Speaks. Shout out to all my patrons already who are a part of my community there, holding me up, supporting Black media, and hopefully supporting this type of content. Y'all say y'all value it, so I hope you will support it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, all my patrons. So looking at the comments, I'm feeling really great today. Like I said, I just wanted to give thanks when I woke up. I gave thanks in my movement. Yes, I was pumping iron, but it's a type of meditation in and of itself, you know that. So I was really in a space of just gratitude. We're here, y'all. We got more to do. We have more to do. If we're here, we have more to do. So I'm so grateful for whatever I can contribute to your journey. I can contribute to your mental health. I can contribute to your spiritual health, right? Your relational health. I think most of us, if we're honest, especially us high achievers, we have areas in our lives that need healing. And oftentimes we try to do it ourselves. Why? Because we're so smart. We got all the degrees. We're the people that help other people. But what happens when the smarty pants, when the woman or the man who knows it all, get them likes up. Come on, hit the like button. It's free. Thank you very much. What happens when the people who have it all together have spaces and traumas in their lives that are undealt with? Guess what happens? They come back to you. They come back, they rear their ugly heads when we least expect it. They ruin sometimes the best things that ever happened to us. So instead of letting them fester and kind of stay below the surface, we deal with them here. Suzette Speak Show, we're going to deal with it. We're going to talk about it. Those unspoken hurts, those places that are most traumatized, that are damaged by life, by family. They love us, but especially in our communities of color, mom and dad did not have a rule book. I don't know about you. Looking back, there's some healing to do. When people have hurt us in relationships, God help us. There's some more people to love. There's some healing to do. When we look back at our jobs and our careers and all the promises of, capitalism and this wonderful life that we had, and we look back and we're like, Lord, what was all this about? There can be some healing to do. So we're going to work on ourselves. It's nothing more precious to me than the opportunity to help each and every one of you, including myself, work on yourself. So when you meet that person, so when you get the next business opportunity, so when you get the whatever, fill in the blank, you are ready mentally. You are ready spiritually. You are self-confident. We just talked about it, how we're going to leave behind the insecurities. Y'all was on the stream? Y'all was on the last stream? Leaving behind the insecurities for 2022 with my special guest, Kendra Ward. That was an amazing stream. Go back and watch it. I had to watch it again myself. I don't even watch my own streams. Every now and then I have to watch this last one. Go back and watch it. If you struggle with insecurity, if you don't know why you can't move forward, go back and watch the on the Suzette Speak Show channel, YouTube. Go back and watch it. All right, let me say good morning. Good morning. Good morning to my people. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. I see y'all in the chat. Hi, Veggie, welcome. Is 2022 ready for you? I love it. That's my attitude. Is 2022 really ready for me? That's what I want to know. Good morning. Nice to see you. Destination Dad. Happy New Year. Lovely to see you. He has an amazing channel. Go check him out. Another outstanding content creator, real tech guy. You was dropping some nuggets the other day. I was like, okay, can I follow this, Lord? But yes, real deep, brother. Thank you for what you're bringing to the YouTube community. And I wish you nothing but more success and growth in 2022, my brother. Andrew Wagwan, my brother out of NYC. Nice to see you, sir. A very big contributor. He has been a sponsor of many streams I've had. And I'm so appreciative of your contributions to my YouTube journey, sir. Thank you so much. Big up yourself. Big up your family. I hope you had a great New Year's Eve and a New Year's Doug Wagwan. Happy New Year to you. Doug is one of the members of my Patreon. He's a part of that exclusive community that, again, we're going to have a reaction show right after this. I'm so grateful for you, Doug. Thank you for all your support. Happy New Year, says Brandon Baxter. Big up yourself. Typing from NYC. Okay, were you in that crowd, Brandon? Were you out there? They said it was smaller, only a few thousand. I think it was like 13 or 15,000. Still too many for me. Thank you very much. But let me know if you was out there watching the ball drop. I was watching it from the comfort of my home. Sim Siawagwan, how are you? Nice to see you and happy New Year. Welcome, one of my day ones in the building. Thank you so much for coming through. I wish you a happy and prosperous 2022, my brother. I know big things are in store for you, and I just ask God to bless you in all of your endeavors. Welcome. Drop a comment. Let me know where you're watching from. Big up, Diane. Nice to see you. Happy New Year, my sister. What are you doing for 2022 different than you're doing for 2021? Anybody? Any changes we're making? Any new patterns we're trying to develop? Have we gotten that far? Or are we just happy to be here? Have we gotten that far? I want to know, what are you doing a little bit differently? Have we started to think about the changes we want to make? I'm talking about internally, y'all. Of course, the exercise. Of course, the eat right. Of course, all of that. Get back in contact with friends. All of that good stuff. But what are we doing internally? Anybody have any ideas of things that they want to improve or change? Let me know. Hey, Brian. Happy New Year. How are you? I always see you on Facebook. Nice to see you over here. Welcome, sir. Thanks for joining, and Happy New Year to you. Primrose, I Happy New Year. Let me know where you guys are watching from. Thank you. Brian Smith says, to be ready means that one is going to do something to make the new year better. Food for thought. Absolutely. So being ready means, what am I going to do to make this experience, this life journey we're on, something about it better? Food for thought. We're going to get deep. We got my guest coming up. Y'all ready? Red Pill Hustle, what up? Yes, we made it. Give God the glory. We made it. That was the first thing I said. I was like, God, I'm alive in 2022. Thank you for this moment. Thank you for this privilege to help heal people. I'm so grateful, y'all. I don't know. Did you feel like that? I really felt like that. It took me back to where we were, like I said, and how much emotion I had behind, like, oh my God, it's just a privilege to be alive. All the rest of the problems we have, all the bills we got to pay, all the issues we got, all the, everything that is compiled onto life that makes it, very challenging at times. Sometimes we just got to get back to the rudimentary things that make it the most important. We're here. We got people that love us. We got people we love. We have health and strength. We're in our right minds. Praise God. We can talk. We can see. There's so much to give thanks for. So I'm just grateful to be here with y'all and celebrate. Hey, Andrew, you joined the Patreon? Thank you. Okay, my voice. Sorry. That was my reggaeton dance hall horns. But I got a little rough this morning. Big up, new Patreon member. Thank you so much for your support. Big up, Andrew. Thank you for joining my Patreon. Can't wait to see you again. We're going live right after this on a reaction show. Thank you, Una. Nice to see you. Keep on spreading the good news and blessings to you too. Happy New Year, sis. Thanks for being here. Dehana, Canada in the building. Wagwan, Toronto, Wagwan, Montreal, Wagwan to all my folks, Quebec and all around Canada. Big up yourselves. Nice to see you. I'm ready for any and everything that is coming. That is me. I'm trying to have an open heart, open spirit, expecting the best, expecting God's best for 2022. I'm not trying to play it small. I'm trying to be committed and focused, develop new patterns in areas that I want to, improve, that I've struggled with. All of us have struggles. We're not perfect, but most likely the way that we can actually achieve most of what we want is here first. Here first. Mindset development, right? Believing we can. Setting expectations that are positive, good expectations. Good will come to me. I deserve the best. I know I can. Hello, y'all, we ready for our guest? Hold on, let me see if anybody else. Good morning to you. Drop a like. I'm bringing on my guest now. Again, welcome. I see some new people have joined. Suzette Speaks here, TV host, attorney out of South Florida. Big up to my folks watching on my partner co-host today, Jamaicans.com Facebook page. We are simulcasting. Thank you guys for joining. Big up to the Facebook massive on the Suzette Speaks page, and also to my YouTube. Y'all ready for a discussion? Y'all ready? Let's go. Get them likes up. I have to get my likes up before I bring on my guests, because we want people to see it. We want people to join. Of course, we're on YouTube, so YouTube like interaction. You know how that go. So please, please, please like, comment, and share if you can. Like, comment, and share. All right. So without further ado, okay, real quick, y'all can bless me. Here we go. That's the Cash App. Some people ask for it, so that's the Cash App, supporting this type of media. Again, I want to do this for a living. In case y'all didn't know. Yes, I am an attorney and I enjoy that type of work too, but I also have a journalist background and I really enjoy talking to people. If I could do this for free, we're going to talk about what we're good at in a second, and focusing on that for 2022. But if I could do this for free, I would do it, but I hope to do it so I can actually pay my bills. Let's be real. We are all grown here and we know it takes resources. So I appreciate all of you throughout my YouTube journey, throughout my Facebook journey, who have been supportive in any way, shape, or form. I'm grateful for each and every one of you. Thank you. Once again, but now I say it again, but the Patreon is live. The Patreon, I go on. If you want to get to know me, if you want to get deep, if you want to have some more, like I said, very emotional intelligence related, personal development related, relationship related, anything that's going to strengthen your mind, your spirit, your soul, that's what we're dealing with. So come on over. Can't wait for January's Patreon meetups and to connect with each and every one of you. So go over to Patreon, join me, join this movement, the Suzette Speaks movement. Amen. And I can't wait for the 2022 Patreon members who are going to now join this journey. All right. Una ready? Una ready? Una ready? Una ready? Una ready? All right, let's get it started. Welcome. I have a dynamic speaker coach. I just found out, I knew of him, but I didn't know he was a licensed marriage and family therapist on top of that. This gentleman has counseled, I think it says over 6,000 families. We're going to talk about how to strengthen families for 2022 as well. I want his insight. I want his wisdom. I want everything from his experience counseling families that's going to tell us how we can better prepare ourselves from a mental health point of view, an emotional health point of view, spiritual health point of view, to be our best for 2022. Y'all, come on, give a warm Suzette Speak Show. Welcome to our special guest today, Mr. Kingsley Grant. Yay! Welcome, welcome, welcome. How are you?
I am fantastic. I mean, I tell like if I was doing any better, I don't know what else what I would do with myself right now. Having listened to you just now, I mean, you just got me going. I was
Hey!
sitting here jumping out of my chair. So I mean, you did a fantastic job setting the tone. I'm excited. How can I follow that? Basically,
No, of course you can. I'm so excited to have you. Like I said, we have been admiring each other. I saw him speak live. This was a couple of years ago now. And I've kind of followed his journey, and he's probably followed my journey from a
yes.
distance as well. So, no time like the present to connect and chit chat. Like I said, we are here to elevate the discourse we're finding on YouTube, elevate the discourse among people of color and beyond, so that we can now, dig deeper within ourselves and find out what we can do to strengthen that inner man or woman, so that we can present that strong, fully confident, fully self-assured person that can go out and make changes in the world. All right, so y'all ready? Kingsley, wagwan, brother.
100% behind that. And just the fact that we can be sitting here today right behind myself. Behind the Jamaican microphone. So when I do my
Yes.
my life, I say the Jamaican microphone because we're representing both places at the same time. But to
Yes.
be on the So That Speak show is a privilege, it's an honor, and I'm looking forward to our conversation that we're going to have.
Well, I appreciate you, my brother. So I'm going to start with you. Just introduce yourself to the people, let them know who you are, where you're from, what kind of work you do.
Yeah, thank you. But first of all, thank you for having me on as a guest on your show. Really watched your journey, and it's a privilege to see that here it is. I'm sitting behind a person I've admired, and just the work you're doing, and all of that. So thank you for what you're doing. Yeah. So I am Kingsley Grant, and I mentioned before that I represent Jamaica first and foremost. That's where I was born, and of course migrated many years ago to the States, and having just really followed where I think God has been leading me, but not knowing initially where He was until of latter years, realizing He was leading me to help people to really find hope, in essence, to find hope in their lives. I've traveled a different journey to get here, but as you described, I have done, a number of things. I was in the ministry for many years. I associated, I led, directed a whole youth ministry for over 20 years. Did that, worked in different corporate settings for a number of years until I felt the nudge that, what I really like to do is communicate and help people navigate the areas of their lives. So I transitioned initially to marriage and family, the mental health space, where I could actually be working with people one on one, like you described earlier, having worked with over 6,000, conservatively speaking, over 6,000 families over the years, and seeing all kinds of family members, couples, individuals, family, and helping them navigate those areas of their lives that can put them back into a more hopeful state. That's really what I've been doing, having authored a few books myself, and on leadership, on emotional intelligence, on forgiveness. And so this is really the journey that I have up to this point, and looking forward to where God's going to lead in 2022.
Fantastic. So you coach people individually and you also counsel people. Tell us about your practice. I
Yeah,
know you have your own practice. Tell us about what you do and how you help people in your practice.
of course. Thanks. Yeah. So my practice is helping families improve. That's the name of the practice. And basically, what I do is right now is virtual. I had an office for many years, but because of COVID, I had to give that up. And so I'm doing everything virtual right now. But I have, sat with couples, help couples who can't come in sometimes with a divorce paper on the table and help to navigate that, because they're really simple saying, that's the only option I have left. I don't want to do this for the most part, but it's the only option I have left. Can you help us find another option? So my job is to help them consider another option that they may have not looked at because they've exhausted all they've had, not knowing where else to turn. So I just, bring up some other way of reflecting back to them another option. And I do that for couples, families, and individuals, because sometimes it's just to be able to mirror back to them what they're not seeing, not hearing, because there's so much in it, they can't see the trees for the forest. And so my job is to show them the tree that's maybe that they have not looked at in their lives. And I find that every problem that I've worked with, almost 100% of problems I've worked with, is relationship related. There's a relationship component there of some kind, whether it's business relationship, family relationship, marriage. Is always a relationship component. So my job is to help them to navigate through interpersonal skills. What skill can I bring to the table to help them just pop things a different way and change their mindset about something and get a different outcome?
I love it. So yes, how we deal with relationships, how we I say not deal with, how we interact with other human
Yes.
beings is what is the source of a lot of our pain.
Yes.
Indirectly.
Yeah.
We don't have the skills. All of us didn't get the skills to how to love people or how to allow ourselves to be loved.
Yeah.
Oftentimes we are trying to elicit the type of response we want, but we don't understand that our behavior is not going to guarantee us that type of response. So
Yeah.
I love that, and we're going to get deeper into the family dynamics portion of this so that we could talk a little bit about how to improve family dynamics going into 2022. But I wanted to kind of segue from the conversation I had with Kendra Ward on my last show.
Right.
When we talked about insecurities and how to overcome insecurities in 2022, I would like to start by asking you about your own challenges when it comes to the inner imposter.
Yeah.
There are so many of us who are high achieving, look like we got it together, can lead an army, but inside we don't really feel like we're worthy, or we don't feel like it's our time. We don't feel like anybody will listen to us. We don't feel like we have the discernment. Fill in the blank. There are so many parts of us that we want to believe in ourselves for, but we don't always have that belief ready and kind of engaged.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about your own journey with that inner imposter and how you were able to overcome it?
Yeah, definitely. Especially for me in the leadership role, having trained a number of leaders, written a book on leadership. I think for me, when I stepped into that arena and training leaders of how to lead well, how to succeed where others failed, I felt sometimes that when I stand before those, corporate people and sharing with them about leadership, I felt like inadequate. I felt like, Kingsley, well, where is your corporate leadership? That I did not have. I did have leadership, of course, in another setting, but I find leadership really is the principles you use in one setting is transferable to other settings, is just to find a fit for that. So I felt like an imposter. And sometimes, I mean, many times, not some, many times, I question whether or not I should be there. And I'm thinking that, what if they're thinking, okay, well, what is your experience? What is your background? And I've had some people ask that, and I just share my background. But what happened, I find, is the results I'm able to get people. If you're getting the results, they don't really necessarily look at your resume per se. And so I got them the result they needed. And that helped me to overcome little by little my imposter syndrome until of recent years. I really realized that imposter syndrome is not a bad thing. In essence, it could be a good thing. Why? Why? Because it tells you, it informs you about something. You're about to step into a new place that's going to require you to step up and bring some new skills. So you're feeling an anxiety that's called imposter, and you're simply saying, okay, how can I manage this? Not necessarily get rid of it. How can I manage this and frame it in a way that it serves me rather than me serving it? And so that helps me to realize, Kingsley, that feeling you're having is because you're about to go to the next level. And so it's okay. It's okay. It's an excitement. Use that and channel that into a good way.
So I like that. So we got to talk about reframing. A lot of what we deal with on the Suzette Speak Show platform, and welcome to everyone who's just joining. Go ahead and hit the like button, is how to talk about things that have happened to us in a different type of way. A lot of times we've attached negative emotion, to experiences. We've called them negative experiences. I'm alone. I'm I don't have what it takes as far as what you talked about, whether it's a corporate experience, so to speak, in the traditional sense,
Right.
whether it's the degrees. Because a
Yes.
lot of us don't move out because we feel like, oh, there's a bunch of people, these lawyers out here and everybody else that has more education than me. Who am I? But I like the fact that you have repositioned and reframed it in your mind that feeling of, oh my goodness, am I going to be good enough? Am I, qualified?
Yes.
Is now telling me, oh, yeah, push,
Mhm.
because I'm entering a new level. I'm going to feel anxiety. I'm going to feel like I'm unprepared, if you will. Not that I am unprepared, but more likely I'm hearing these thoughts and I have to tell myself this is a different type of signal. I have to use this as the motivation and say to myself, wow, this is because you're moving to another level.
Yes.
So you
Yes.
cannot be held hostage by it, or you can't allow yourself to be held hostage by it. You actually can be held hostage by that
Yes.
imposter that's
Yes.
saying to you, "You're not ready, girl. You're not ready, homeboy. You gotta work on X, Y, and Z." So you never move.
Yeah.
So instead, we have to start hearing those thoughts and say to ourselves, "Wow, I must be pushing in the right direction." Because I feel uncomfortable, because I
And
feel like
I
I'm not
love that.
ready. You
I love
have
the
to
way you're framing
embrace
that.
that
That's very
feeling.
good.
Yes,
I love
it's
it.
going to be there. It's going to be there. So you got to make sure you're not listening to it. You have to
Yeah.
see it for what it is. Wow. This means you have to kind of step forward a little bit more,
Yes.
right? So
Yes.
you're not going to hear that imposter and say to yourself, wow, that's true. I'm not ready. You
Yeah.
have to say, oh, wow, you're here to scare me. Okay, I'm ready.
Yeah, 'cause, I
This
mean,
is
if
a
you
new. Go
think
ahead,
about it,
Casey.
is that I mean, people who are hearing and feeling imposter are people who are in the game. People who
Yes.
generally don't feel that way are not in the game. So
Mhm.
really, because you're in the game and you're moving towards that end zone touchdown, you're feeling this anxiety, and it's called imposter. So I'm just simply saying, hey, what if you just manage it and say, okay, I'm deserve to be here because I'm on the field, I'm playing in this game. I am as qualified as anybody else because I would not be in the game with them, and then drive that home. And on the idea of insecurity, I believe that most times it's the word insecurity, I'm not secured. And the question is, why am I not secured? And I find for me, when I felt insecurity, I did not really know my positioning, my identity. Who was Kingsley Grant? And I had to work through that and figure a way to say, here is who Kingsley Grant is. And once I was able to set that tone and set that stage, that it helped me drive through those feelings called insecurities. And so I'm secure now in who I am. And I think people have to drive to the place of finding a way to secure themselves in an anchor or on something that's immovable, unshakable. And if they can find a foot in there, then they're good. They don't have to be, nothing can move them if they're truly secured and anchored in an unmovable, unshakable foundation.
I love it. So let's talk a little bit about how we do that, because I do agree with you. A lot of times, our discomfort and even our pain can may originate from lack of identity.
Yeah.
People have not truly connected with who they are, as you've spoken about here,
Yeah.
their purpose. And because they're kind of unsure, it can cause you to react to other people, what they say about you, and opportunities as they present themselves in kind of like ways that don't serve you best. So let's talk a little bit about how, if people don't feel like they're in the right job, don't know what kind of industry they want to apply, like you said, the skills to. Skills can be applied in various industries. It
Yes.
doesn't need a title for it to be applicable. You can use your same accounting skills in other ways. You can use your same legal skills in
Yes.
other ways. Here I am, YouTube. So how do you get to that identity piece and remove it from a job title?
Yeah.
I think to various degrees, there are people who only see themselves and are trapped by a job title, and they're searching for and they want to move outside of it. But the transition to my purpose is greater than the job title. Like you said, your purpose is your interpersonal skills. Your
Yes.
interpersonal skills are what is
Yeah.
the anchor of who you are.
Yeah.
So whatever you're doing, whether it's church ministry, whether it's a licensed marriage and family therapist, whether it's whatever coach, you fill in the blank, it's all about you using your interpersonal skills. How do people drill down and try to find and identify purpose so that they feel more sure about
Yeah.
themselves?
And I find this a very good question. I think the idea is a story that we're following, right? Because we are all following a script. We have a story given to us, either imposed upon us, either we have learned because of our background, our upbringing, or a story we have made up ourselves. We are all following a story, a storyline. So my thing is, when I help in coaching, for example, I talk about rescripting our stories. We look at the story we're following and ask ourselves the question: how did the story get there? Is it true? How accurate is that story? Now, the events of our lives are always accurate. There cannot be this debated. There are events in our lives, but the story around those events many times are not necessarily as accurate as the event itself. And one of my favorite story is in the Bible, where God asked Adam, who told you that you were naked? So he was following a script that he got from, not from God. He got a script from someplace else, and following that script, God said, "Who told you?" So I challenge people, and in a sense, asking those questions without saying that same way. Who told you this is who you are? Where did you get that from? How did this come about? And sometimes when we are able to look at the story and ask ourselves some hard questions, how did it get there? We may realize that the story is not really an accurate story, and it's a story that can be restored to help us. So one of the things I had to do in my own life is restoring my story, because I grew up in Jamaica. I left, of course, at a young age, but I still grew up there. And I had certain storylines that I had to follow, because of how I was brought up in a Christian home, and certain things that were said, and just something that were done inside and you could not talk about publicly. So I had that script following, and it held me back for a long, long time. And we'll get into that later on about something that happened to me. But I held onto that story for a very, very, very long time, over 20 plus years. That became how I operated. My beliefs shaped my behavior. So it really, really struggled with me. And I had to flip that eventually by rescripting. So my thing is, how do we rescript the stories we're following?
Mr. Grant, can we go there now? Okay,
Yes.
now you leave us with a cliffhanger, because we definitely learn from one another here.
Yeah.
What may I ask? What happened?
Sure. So I was molested as a teenager. And I had, of course, growing up in Jamaica at the time, is something that I could not share with anyone, because number one, it's a story that if I shared, I was afraid I would be labeled. And at the time, of course, being the very homophobic kind of environment that I was, the setting that I had at the time. And so I had to hold on to that story for over 20 plus years to myself. Could not tell anybody about anything that happened. And so it was something I suppressed. And that was a script I followed, where, suppose, what if someone find out? So I had to operate at a less than myself. I could not go in 100%, because I was afraid, the what if question that really followed me and trailed me. And, fast forward, I was able to, over time, learn through forgiveness. And so I wrote a book about forgiveness, 2 steps to forgive. When the heart says no, the head says yes, the heart says no. And I had to learn how to forgive. And that's why I titled the book Forgiveness. Is a gift I had to give to my perpetrator. But the point is that I had to, the pain of that, and having to walk that journey by yourself. And many people are listening right now are suffering in silence, because they have a story that was imposed on them, like for me in that regards. But that's not who I am. I was thinking that's who I was because of what happened to me. But what happened to me does not make me who I am. That was a distinction I was unable to make and separate. When I was able to separate myself from what happened to me to who I am, that was a game changer.
Wow, that is, I'm just so moved, because I know there are a lot of us, particularly in our community, that have had been impacted by sexual abuse. And there are so many of us that, like you, suffer in silence, and it robs you of your identity.
Yes.
It robs you of who you know God created you to be.
Yes.
And it makes you feel this shame. It
Yes.
makes you feel unworthy, and you didn't even cause it.
Right.
It's not your fault.
Right.
It's something that is foisted upon you,
Yeah.
particularly when you're children. For like, someone is robbing you of that innocence,
Yeah.
and people struggle with that. Look at you, 20 years.
Yeah.
20 years never telling anyone. So for anyone out here watching who also knows who they truly are but are struggling, go talk to someone.
Yeah.
Go seek professional counseling, go seek professional help, because there's a lie that has been told you,
Yes.
and you think, "Oh my gosh, no one will love me, because I will never be, great, because if they were to find out."
Yeah.
So this is something that, and I'm glad you were able to share that with us, because there are people who are watching who too have that experience, who have not been able to speak that thing and share it so that it is released Write it down.
Yeah.
Write yourself a note. Write your young baby self a note. What you experienced was real,
Yeah.
but it does not have to define you.
Yeah.
You can heal from that. You can
Yeah.
heal from that. As he said, you can redefine yourself.
Yeah.
There is so much people, and I've just thought about certain it's a book I read a while ago. This lady, same thing. She was in Nazi Germany,
Mhm.
and she was used as by the Nazi guards, let's say like that. She was misused. I'm talking about she was 4 and 5 years old. And she wrote a book of overcoming. And what you said, it starts with forgiveness. And I've done several shows, y'all. If we don't have a theme, let's go back and watch about forgiveness.
Yeah.
In the 2022, who do you have to forgive?
Yes.
You
Yes.
think it's for them, but it's for you.
Yeah.
You think it's for them, but it releases you.
Yeah.
We have a tendency to blame ourselves, to hold on, and to continue the narrative we were given.
Yeah.
But the beauty of what we can do, as Kingsley has said, is we can change the narrative.
Yeah.
What narrative do you need to change in 2022?
Hmm.
What have other people told you or done to you, or what have you experienced that you attach a negative narrative to?
Yeah.
How you will feel about it is the most important thing.
Hmm.
It's time to rewrite the narrative. You just touched me so much with that. I want to read the comments just to see what the folks are saying. We're going to do a quick reset. I'm Suzette Speaks here with my special guest, Kingsley Grant, talking about 2022, new you. Everybody want a new boo. Everybody want a new job. Everybody want to new this and new that. But we're going to start from the inside out. Here on this platform, we talk about the ways in which we can improve the inner human, the inner man and woman, so that we are free, so that we can be our fully expressed selves the way God sees us, not how others define us or what others impose upon us, limiting us. We want to be our full selves, full of love, full of kindness, full of compassion, and ready to receive the same. So we're going to talk deep here. I hope you guys are okay watching. I see you, Mika. Welcome, Mika. Thank you for being here. Grandma of 11 says, let's not blame ourselves or themselves for it. I understand that. Grandma of 11 says, such an overwhelming trauma for a young person to face. 100%. 100%. So we're going to take that and just take a deep breath. I really want to
Yeah.
pivot a little bit. We're going to pivot into remaining. The narrative switch is huge.
Mhm.
And we're going to pivot a little bit into remaining focused, because I think another thing about how we approach our new year is that we're really hype for the first few weeks. Y'all in the gym, the gyms are packed, or we're walking, or we have started, no coffee or more water or more whatever. But then, and I'm also going to put this to professional goals, because a lot of us want to make more money. A lot of us want to step out there and try new careers, etc. So when we are thinking about how to remain engaged with those goals, how to remain focused, let's talk a little bit about what we can do.
Yeah.
Because I think sometimes, again, the hype, the new year, new me, the first month is like the best. But then we get a little bit more shaky and we get a little bit more distracted. How do you remain focused, Kingsley? What is it that you put into practice that helps you kind of stay the course?
That's a good question, and I'm gonna go right there right after. I want to make a comment, piggyback just as we make this transition, because I think you
Mhm.
mentioned something very important, and I wanted to just kind of end it what I said earlier. You mentioned about seeking professional help. I think is so important if you're struggling with something like I described. Probably, I mean, not probably the best way. Sometimes the reason why we haven't shaken those things is because we have tried ourselves to do it ourselves. The Lone Ranger idea. Seek professional help. Seek a not a friend. Yes, friends can be great, but seek professional help. Seek, if a spiritual or a licensed person who can help you to navigate, who is not even, who don't even know you, right? So it helps you. I had to myself work through some of my things that way. So I want to mention that it's very, very important what Suzette said earlier on to amplify that piece. Now, going back to the idea of staying focused, I think this is something I would say, if you'd asked me this question a few years ago, I would say, hey, if you want to find the dictionary definition of an unfocused person. Look for my name, and you'll find the word there, unfocused, because that's who I am. My personality, I love to do. I'm a visionary. I see big things. I start things and don't finish, and I'm just constantly seeing all these ideas flowing through my mind. So staying focused was hard for me. I struggle with that because I have all these 100 ideas at one time. I'm not sure. I'm sure other people are listening who may be able to relate to that. But then I realized that, Kingsley, here's what you're trying to do. You're trying to take this elephant down, pretty much, but you're trying to just eat the whole elephant in one sit-in. And is it any wonder why you're so full, the elephant is still there, and you just kind of move on to something else because it's almost an impossible task. And I realized I was focused on that so much that I didn't realize that what if I focus on that one bite at a time? And so what helped me was to realize, Kingsley, don't think for a year. Yes, you may have a year's idea. Look at that one day, the one bite. The elephant is a year, but what can you do in that one bite? Savor that bite and focus on that one bite at a time. That was the vision, the picture that I looked at that helped me to decide, okay, Kingsley, it's one thing. So, for example, the early part of the year, people want to lose weight. I said, okay, so if I'm coaching, I'm saying, how much weight do you want to lose? 20 pounds. Okay. So let's take that whole year and decide, divide 20 by 12 and start with that first pound. Can you lose a pound in a week? Stay focused on that 1 pound, not the 20. And most times we're looking at the 20, not the one. So I find to stay focused is to break in small bites. And that's what I had to do to help myself. And of course, I had coaches, I had mentors, I read books, I listened to podcasts, I did all the things that most people do. But I realized that, in spite of all of that, I had to decide and say, Kingsley, take a deep breath, do one day at a time, one thing at a time. And that's where I'm at right now in focus. And I believe if you're trying to just be focused this year, whatever you're looking at, what's the smallest portion of that you can focus on and do, and take that and work on that today, one day, not the year, not 1 week, not 1 month, one day. And it's a day at a time that it is done. It's one bite at a time. You're going to eat this elephant, not the
I
whole
love it.
at one time.
Thank you. Urban Lady raise her hand. That's me. That's me. For those of us who are highly creative, like you said, highly visionary, it can be very daunting. And I will add to what he just said. Yes, do the next best thing.
Yeah.
One thing a day.
Yeah.
Focus on that one thing. Drink your coffee. I saw who said they were drinking more coffee. Other people said they were going to get other things in order. But whatever it is for you guys, do one thing towards it today. Do the next best thing today. It's not going to be built overnight. And I think sometimes we get very discouraged because we don't see all of the magic change happening right now. Is going to take, it's amazing what 6 months of doing a little a day, a little thing a day can lead to. Yes. But we, with the microwave society we live in, are much more, geared to, but I've been doing this a whole, 2 shows. I've been doing this a whole fill in the blank, and feeling discouraged and feeling like we're not getting anywhere and we're not making progress. So for me, hallelujah, with a little bit more of the workout, I'm just going to do my 5 days.
Yes.
Now y'all must see some abs. I don't see them. I keep looking in the mirror, pull up my shirt, look to the side. Nope, no abs. Nope, not yet. But as just an illustration, it's the little bit, it's the step, it's the drip, drip, drip. It takes a few several months probably for rivers to form, but it didn't just form with a heavy rain. Just even a little bit of water changes a whole surface. So remind yourself of that when you are setting these big goals, like many of us will. It's not about that big elephant, as Kingsley put it. It's about, what am I biting today? Yes. What am I taking on today towards that big elephant, so that we can get to the execution. Mm-hmm. All right. So the remain focus is a very big a piece. Truly finding focus. I had written something down, and I'm trying to think where I was going to go with what you said. Just triggered something I was writing down. But I'm thinking about who you're surrounding yourself with
Yes.
as well is
Yes.
really big on remaining focused. I
Yes.
think setting time each day is a
Mhm.
big part of remaining focused,
Mhm.
especially when it's not your main job or your 9 to 5. You have to make sure you're carving out a consistent time. Most success is through consistency.
Yeah.
It's not about who's smartest, it's not about who's most talented. Most success is bred through consistency.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we're going to try to remain focused and do that. Kingsley, I had here that we were going to talk a little bit about, we talked about reframing. We talked about being consistent. We talked about uh, playing to your
Yeah.
strengths, as you said. And I want to get into a little bit more. Um, we talked about limited beliefs, but I want to know about your personal story when it comes to running away from.
Mhm.
So I think there's a lot of people who want to make the big commitment or want to make the New Year's resolution goals, but they are afraid of them.
Yeah.
Just straight up, that's too big, that's too much. Not only on the imposter level, but more so on, like, I think on the my life is comfortable, or I have a family and I have kids, or I'm a grandma, or I'm a this or I'm that, or I'm past my prime and I can't go there now. Whatever it is literally, I hear this call but I'm focused on something else.
Mhm.
Can you talk a little bit about how that manifested for you and
Yeah.
how you were able to approach it?
Yeah, I'm telling you, that's a great question because I find for many years, I know what my strength is, which is communication. I talk about it, helping people navigate and find hope. Those are things that came natural for me for a long time, and I realized that I did not want to be branded as another relationship guy because there are so many of those out there, and I'm thinking it's really to me oversaturated. So I said, okay, what else can I do? And I began to do other things that I had skill sets for, but I did not find to be my superpower. So I ran away from my superpower, what I thought God had wired me from, because I didn't want to. And a number of other things I looked at was, okay, how can that be monetized? Because there's a way, as you mentioned earlier about the Patreon, I got to be able to support what I do. And it's okay. It's nothing wrong with that. It's really the right thing to do. So you can go and do other things. So you look at that financial part. And I'm saying, okay, so I look at all the different things to determine whether or not if I went into this direction of trying to use interpersonal skills, communication, helping people navigate the stuck areas of their lives, then I could still be able to live off that. So I just kind of stayed away from that for many years. I mentioned, so I ran away from that. I did not want to be tagged. And I find some people that I work with, they have certain things they're running away from because it's the association, the meaning, it's what it is that people may tag them with and they don't want to be. And that's why they begin to do other things and be somebody else, not who they really are truly, they truly are. They're taking on another identity because of what society, because of what their family, because of what their circle may say to them, and they're afraid of that. They can't. And I get it. I understand. Sometimes it takes, the backbone. You have to be able to allow the water to run off your back and not worry about it. But to get there, it takes time. But they run away because of all those other things on the outside, and never become themselves. They live someone else's vision for their lives. They live what, for me, my dad, for example, he wanted me to be, in the area of a medical field, because in Jamaica you had to be either a doctor, an attorney, or a teacher, something that is,
I
status, right?
I know somebody know what we talking about. You didn't have no career choice. You had two career choices.
Exactly. And so in a sense, to follow that, I was running away from what I truly wanted to do, because again, they framed that for me. And so until I came to the place of realizing, Kingsley, it's okay, be yourself, do what really rocks your boat, do what you love, and if you do what you love, it will find a way to get you to where you need to be. And so I ran away from everything else, not because I truly wanted to, but I wanted to listen to my dad and answer to him, and all that stuff, until I found my true north star, so to speak, and decided to line yourself up to that and go after it, no matter what anybody else says, and regardless of what family, friends, or enemies say, you
My
go after
Lord.
that. That's what helped me to shift from running away.
Kingsley, you watching my life? You watching my life? What you doing? You spying on me? This is my story for those who have been a
I'm
part
here
of my
talking.
channel. Let me just tell a little bit of it, and I'm so thankful. This is what it's about. Real deal, Spencer. Thank you. I needed to hear this message today. Thanks, Suzette. That's what we do it for. Thank you, Real Deal, Spencer. I see y'all in the chat. I'm so grateful. I love this urban lady. Also, I see you. She says, I'm going to stop running from my feelings, fix my emotional health. That's why we are here. I'm going to stop running from my feelings and fix my emotional health. Just the bravery to say that out loud, to type it in the chat. Salute to you, urban lady. That is what we're here for. We're here to support one another as we do that. Right now is not a time that we can pretend our parents held a lot in, our grandparents held even more in, but thank God we don't have to be like that. Some of the things that we learn from them, it's okay to unlearn it. Now we have
Yes.
tools. Now we can speak things that we were told not this, like he's talking about. I see you, Andrew, saying I have been forced into my situation. I hear you.
Mhm.
I hear you. And Kingsley, I'm gonna just take a moment because the people who may not know me, let me go solo for a second. If y'all don't know me, this is a big part of my story. I grew up in a very strict, loving, but strict Jamaican American household. They had me on a short leash as a result of all the sacrifice that was made in coming to America, in making, this big change and deciding to migrate to a new country for new opportunity. At the time in Jamaica, this is like late 70s, early 80s, there was a lot of political unrest and many people fled. Many people left. There was a whole brain drain, etc. They were a part of that. They came first to New York. Sounds familiar? New York was a little too cold. So they were like, we'll go with the other family in South Florida. Welcome to Miami. So we come here. But with all those sacrifices made, I say that to say, you as a young person, myself, I could not choose. There's a reason why my brother's a doctor and I'm a lawyer now. That's not by accident. That is because people placed upon us certain expectation. And if I look back now, if I had my own power, if I could stand in my own power, and when you have Caribbean parents, you really can't do that. African parents too, y'all know how y'all are. You could never say, I don't want to. Why? People made sacrifices for you. People left their whole lives behind to come to a whole new country to start over for you. So what you gonna do? You gonna go to law school. You gonna figure it out. I was telling my friends when I was in undergraduate, I enjoyed my extracurricular activities more than I enjoyed my schoolwork. Same thing in high school. I was a very good student because I knew the expectation was there, and thank God for natural abilities as well, plus hard work and studying. But I could never step away. Even in high school, I remember telling my mom, instead of getting this IB diploma, I want people to remember me for what I did here, for my leadership and how I impacted them. I remember her telling her that from like high school days. Same thing in college. I enjoyed the outside of classroom interactions way more. Not that I didn't have a good experience, but I was like, yeah. Work and study. Okay, great. But what about putting together this talent show? What about putting together this step show? How can we have, the new student welcome back? How can I do better as a campus tour guide? That stuff made my heart flutter. And in my own experience, I would cry. I'm telling you, about junior year, I was pre-med from when I started. I had a bunch of scholarships tied to being pre-med. And I had to really back up and be like, Mommy, I do not want to do this. You guys don't seem to understand. I'm talking about a bawling and a crying and a convincing. Can you believe it? A grown woman, not in a Caribbean household. You in college, you ain't grown. You better figure it out. And the compromise was for me to go ahead and do business with an eye for law school. Okay, you don't want to be a doctor, we get it. Let's try for law now. So I went and got a finance degree. But it wasn't because I wanted to. You know what I really wanted to do? And this is what I ended up doing anyway. Praise God. When we were running from the same gifts and we are having the social pressure, the family pressure telling us what to be, it's not a real good look for the mental health. What I really wanted to switch to, they had a college, and it was before it became big, of health and human services, and there was a corporate event planning track. That's what I wanted to do. But guess what? Do you think my parents allowed me? Allowed? No, they was like, "You want to go up there and go do what?" Go learn for plan party. They were not having it. And look at how big event planning is now. And instead, I had to find that outlet through my extracurricular activities, through the organizations on campus, through all my volunteer work. That's when I could plan my stuff. That's what I was good at. And look at me. How much years later? Guess what I'm doing? Guess what I'm doing? The same events, the putting on the same conferences and workshops. All of it comes full circle. I was laughing. I was like, God, I'm running from the very thing because my parents who mean well, they just want you to do well. It's not a blame thing, and it's not about not having them in your corner. They really are trying to have you blossom and become the highest earner you can be, but they ain't really worried about you being happy. They're more so looking at the highest earner and wanting the family's name to be successful, and wanting therefore for you to have what they value, which is financial independence and financial success. But if you're in that boat, I'm just here to remind you, like Coach Kingsley just said, it is a different path when you finally do accept. It's brave, and it's hard not just to follow, because it's hard because there's again that social pressure telling you. I remember the first time I interviewed with Trinity Broadcast Network down here, and I was on television, and my mom was like, "You had to do TV, you had to do TV and all of that." And then it took a few years, and now she telling her friend, "Yeah, yeah, she did on TV, she did on TV." But it was the deepest struggle for me as an attorney to live up to that type of lifestyle when it was killing me. When I was sitting at my desk in these large firms, wanting to cry my eyes out, feeling dead, feeling as if, oh my God, my life and my skills, like he talked about, the skill sets were totally different from where I was. So I don't want you to, just let that fall on deaf ears. I need you to understand it's real. Hit that like button. There are many of us in paths that are not designed for us from who we are. There are many of us on paths that have been designed by other people. And those are people that we love the most, and as people with the best of intentions. But it's okay to redefine your path and to seek a new path. No matter who you are, no matter what you're going through, I know, again, for those first 2 to 3 years when I started pushing out there, I tried out for this TV show. I tried out for that. It was real uncomfortable because I couldn't tell nobody anything. The people were mostly in my corner, my parents, my family. They were like, what should I do that for? What is she trying to do? They could not understand me. They could not offer encouragement. They actually, most of them had something negative to say. Not everybody. But this was where my heart was. This is where my life, meant. It was a big struggle, y'all. I can't go into that in maybe another stream. It was a huge struggle. But this oftentimes keeps us from the true path that we're supposed to be on. As Coach is saying, you up there trying to do what your fill in the blank want for you. Are you still trying to do what other people want for your life? Or are you trying to do what you want for your life? Well, in 2022, I'm going to encourage you, try to do what you want for your life. Now, I know we got obligations. I know we grown. I'm not going to say it like it's just going to be get up and go. But plan, as we talked about, bite the elephant, bite it a little, and you'll be surprised. But for me, he is speaking to the proverbial choir, because I, for so long, sat behind a law desk, sat in a big law firm, and was dying on the inside. Oh, y'all think it's glamorous? I'm gonna go ahead. Coach, let me bring you back up here. Because I'm gonna get too deep right now for me. We're gonna help somebody. We're gonna help somebody today. Because
So Andrew had posted, and I like what he said. He said, I was forced into it. And I see so many people I've worked with through the years in coaching as well as in counseling who have said something very similar, and they find themselves so unhappy, and they find themselves having all these, even depression, and they can't really realize what the depression is all about. They're depressing about their situation. They're adults. They're really at a point in their lives when they should be, in their minds, should be at a different stage. But now they're finding that they're struggling, and they're finding depression. They're depressing, and they're thinking, why am I depressing so much? And and we are sometimes able to uncover because they're in something that they're really not truly have passion about. And when asked the question, if you could do anything right now and could go back and do anything you wanted to do, what would that be? And sometimes the answer is surprise them what they say that came out of their mouth, and they're looking at, well, I just can't do it now where I'm at in my life. And I'm thinking, well, why not? And I started a whole career change in my 50s. So I know, and I wrote a book about midlife launch, how to really launch yourself at a different stage. And I'm not promoting my book. I'm just simply saying it's possible. You're never too old to start something that you feel fully alive in. So I find running away from things and like that, I did it, but I realized when you're in that path, you're really meant to be. There's something electrifying, something about that really makes you come alive in a way that you cannot describe. And so maybe this year for some is stop running away.
Amen. Yeah, you might be broke for a little while. Let's just keep it real. You might be a little broke. It's not gonna be the same money all the time. You're gonna have to hustle with it. But if it resonates that much, if it allows you to be fully yourself, fully expressed, to feel alive, that might be worth it. That short term sacrifice. So as he said, you reinvented it at 50 something. It's never
Yeah.
too late. And get the book. We're gonna drop it in the link. Send me the link after, Kingsley. I'll put it in the description because
Sure.
people need help with this, because the how is now the best, the big obstacle. Well, yeah, y'all saying this, but how do we do that? And I agree with you, and thank you. No, it was not CBN. It was Trinity Broadcast Network, Miami's local version of TBN that I was on. I hosted here locally for years, and it opened up so many doors to me. And I'm just grateful for that opportunity that came, because it was, I can't even tell that story here. It was coming literally when I went. You ever been to church and you just praying, God, if you don't show me something today, is me and you right now. Like the pain I feel, the disconnect with life I feel, the depression I feel by going to this job right here that of course, God, that you got me at. God, you made me a lawyer, God. Now what? Like I felt so deeply just distressed. I can't even express to you now. The person you see here now, ooh, this is like maybe 8 or so years ago. I was like, Jesus, if you don't take me out this law firm, I don't know what I'm gonna do. But he yet and still opened the door. And I can give you that story a whole nother time. But yeah, but you gotta pursue that thing. And it's very hard when you don't have support.
Yes.
Whether it's their parents or your spouse or whoever. It's very hard. We're not gonna say, come on, 2022, and you're just gonna blink and yeah, everybody's gonna love the idea that you're leaving your good corporate job and you're trying this or whatever you try. It is a struggle mentally, spiritually, emotionally. That's why we have to prepare for it with platforms like this, with help from individuals like Kingsley. It is something that you have to get coached through. Because it's going to be bumpy. Okay, so we appreciate it. Thank you. It's Erica. Erica says, unlearn it. Let's go. Let's go. You heard it. You're not respectable unless you're a doctor or a lawyer or artist. They only knew about 3 or 4 things, guys. There's thousands of careers. People making so much money with no degree.
That's right.
With no degree. This is the time. Thank God we're alive. What is happening in crypto? What's happening in all these other spaces? It's people making money. I don't even understand it. I'm like, how are they making money? Like, can someone please teach me? But yeah, there's so much. Grandma of 11 jumps in. Quality of life is so important. I love this right here. Mr. Untouchable. Yadu TV. Yes, that's exactly how with the Jamaican patois. That's exactly how they sounded. And I loved your spelling. That's exactly how my mom was like, well, Yadu TV for ya big liar. We Yadu TV for. She was so confused for years. I couldn't even talk. I was like, I can't talk to her about this. She's so confused. And it made me feel negative, and it made me doubt myself, and it made me feel like I'm stupid and I shouldn't go for what I know. I'm like, I'm supposed to be doing this. This is what I see in my spirit. When I close my eyes, this is what I see. And instead, I'm sitting at a desk, right? So if you're having that dissonance, at least check it out, right? At least check it out. Love it. Thank you, Joan. Big up yourself. Talk about love your compassion. Big up yourself, my darling. Yes, you got me laughing, LOL. Let me see. Grandma of 11 said, I process claims so long. The end game is basically looking for ways to deny them. I hear you. I hear you. We can get in these places. And again, the insurance is good. The salary is good. All of that. We're not telling you blow up your life, right? But there are ways in which you can seek to engage what you call, Kingsley, those strengths, your natural strengths and skill sets, so that you feel fully expressed, is the way I put it. You feel fully expressed. You're not living in a shell or pretending or only partially showing yourself. You're full. Y'all think I'm an attorney. That's why I love coming on YouTube. I'm like, I ain't gotta dress up in no suit. This is me too. This is me. But people tend to want to see you in one way, and it's hard for them to believe. You're like, okay, you're cool. Yeah. Actually, a human being lives in that suit, right? So it's a good thing to realize. Yes, it will break your body down, 100%. Hey, happy New Year, Links. Pick up yourself, log one. I'm so happy to see you, sir. We're in the middle of a deep conversation. So I'm going to keep it going a little bit, but big up yourself. So let's talk a little bit about family. I want to get into your expertise, sir, because I know as a licensed marriage and family therapist with your own practice, having helped more than 6,000 families, you're going to have some advice on how we can strengthen our families in 2022. Yes, we talk about strengthening ourselves individually, but many times families also, like you said, the interpersonal connection is lacking sometimes, and the method of communication and whatnot. So let's talk a little bit about what we can do to navigate in families better, just based on what you're seeing in your practice.
You know, if I was to make a dollar for every family that showed up in my office, whether it's virtually or face to face, one of the things that almost always present itself is we just don't know how to talk to one another. We just don't know how to communicate. We just don't know how to connect. And so there is a disconnect that happened. And I find that to be so much a presenting issue. And so one of the things I try to encourage families to do is how to learn to speak up, be assertive. How do you speak up for what it is you want? But how do you also listen to others respectfully and recognize I don't have to agree with what you're saying, but I need to at least at the beginning acknowledge everybody wants to be heard. We want to be acknowledged. And so family members, whether it's a couple, a family, or even an individual who may present because they're in a context of a family or a workplace, they want to be heard. And so one of the things I suggest strongly is learn to start with acknowledging. How do you acknowledge the other person? Let them know that they are important, that they are valuable. They're a created being that deserve at least your attention, which requires patience, requires listening skills. Is one of the biggest one. But what happened is that most people are so moving so fast, they don't have time. They don't want to listen. They want to get their point of view out, and that's it. They don't want to take in someone else's point of view for whatever reason. And there's a number of reasons that could be driving that. But I just simply say, start with acknowledging. How do you acknowledge, right? But I don't have to agree. But I could say, I could see how you get to your conclusion, but here's what I may not agree about that. But at least the person know you listen to them. So I find most families are scrambling, and we have all these isms and schisms because they want to be heard. They want to say, hey, I'm over here. I mean, can somebody listen to me? I've had people say to me sometimes, is the first time in a session where I'm driving I'm in charge of the session. So I'm saying, hey, here's how the ground rules are going to be. And I'll have family members or a couple, a spouse would say, it's the first time I've ever had a chance to voice my concern and have people listen to me, not interrupt, not shut me down right away, because I'm making certain that that happens. So I find if you're in a relationship context, which we all are, right? We are all in a relationship context, whether it's work relationship, family, or otherwise. Start with learning to acknowledge. How do you acknowledge the other person? How do you value what they're saying? How do you show them that they are important and that they're a valuable human being? And we do that by acknowledging. I could say, to you, Suzette, okay, I hear what you're saying, and I hear you're saying this. You're concerned about that. Okay, I can see how you get to this point. I may not necessarily agree with that, but I could see how you get to this point. You now feel like you're listened to. You feel like you're a part of that conversation, and that's good enough to start with. That's where I drive to at the first place.
Kingsley. This is so deep and so simple at the same time.
Yes.
Because we do it when we're at work.
Yes.
We do it when we're at church.
Yes.
But for some reason, when we walk through that door in our own homes, we drop the corporate and we just got to say anything that come on our chest. We got to say anything that come in our mind. It's like I heard a good discussion between Sarah Jakes and TD Jakes, Bishop TD Jakes, and she was saying to her dad, I want to download my day when I come in. I would want to tell my husband everything. And he was like, for men, it's not what you say, it's when you say it. Mm-hmm. So when you're at the height of emotion, it may not be the right time to give the most critical feedback. Yeah. And the stop, and I've said it on other streams, stop and say, what do you think? Mm-hmm. And be quiet after you ask. Mm-hmm. Stop and say, what do you think? And not sit and be ready to give another response. Right. Sit and listen. Right. Pause and digest. Mm-hmm. Look and shake one's head as if one has heard. We're so ready to get our point across and to be right and to push in our direction instead of acknowledging this is such an important thing. I thank God I'm pretty good at this. Mm-hmm. And I don't even think it's me trying. Thank you, Mr. Untouchable. Appreciate your support. I don't even think I try, but maybe it's me being conditioned because I want people to do it for me. Yes. I listen. I'm a good listener. I've had people at church be like calling me, not my friends, I heard you're a great listener. I was like, who gave you my number and what are you going? Like, hold up, this is not a free 1-800 call Sue. But yeah, but it is, people enjoy that. I realize there are so few places that people get to be heard. Yeah. Oprah put it like this: people want to know that they matter. Yes. Yeah. And in your household, y'all, 2022, what we're going to do to make sure our loved ones know that the people we created, you remember them? For those of you who have kids, that remember that they matter. Yeah. And it's simple, and it's a change that we can definitely implement. If we're not good at it, we're not beating ourselves up. We are looking at ways where we can improve. So I hear you. Sometimes it takes the referee, the therapist, to say, hold up, let them speak. Yeah. Let them be heard. They are never heard, or they don't feel as if they're ever heard. You may think you're hearing, but you have not shown them or demonstrated to them that they're being heard. Yeah. So unfortunately, we got to block. Now we got the dukes up. Now we're ready to go because you don't listen to me. Yeah. And it can go male or female. It's not a matter of who has said what or whatever. But that, oh my gosh, might change some lives in 2022 if we just start there. Yeah. Acknowledging the next person's feelings. Yeah.
And I find I call it the triple A, Suzette. I said, okay, you start with acknowledgement, and then you want to apply either one of two other A's. So it's the acknowledgement of what's been heard requires two responses. Requires either an applause or an apology. Because someone is sharing something very deep and they're hurt by something. They're saying, okay, have you heard me? And I might hear something that really caused me to say, hey, I might need to respond with an apology. So I've done an acknowledgement and an apology. And sometimes I might hear something that is really wonderful and I want to applaud or praise or encourage. So I call it just applaud to keep the three A's going. So I acknowledge and then I applaud or praise that individual. So I can do one of those two things. So I just simply say, once you've acknowledged something, have a response that shows one of two things. Is it requirement? Is it requiring you to apologize? Or is it requiring you to applaud and give a gratitude kind of response? And I find when you are able to do that, we have shown that we have listened, but we're not only listened, we've actively done something as a result of what we just heard.
I love it. You know what? I do this naturally. I'm not to my own horn, but people want to be heard. Listening is a skill. It is. Listening is a skill, not just because you say you are listening, because a lot of us love to think that we're listening. But as he's saying, to demonstrate to the next person, I'm going to read this comment, Andrew. The listening, you have to show active listening is taking place. So when that is with an intimate relationship, intimate partner or child or whoever in your household, looking, as he said, praising, thank you for letting me know. That shows acknowledgement. That acknowledges, I heard you. I disagree, but I agree with what you said. I'm listening. There are ways to do it, but I think sometimes we can do it at work when it's required. But for whatever reason, when we reach home, all of a sudden, we don't try as hard and we just let go. And it's hard to bring it back. bring back the love, bring back the trust, bring back the intimacy once it's starting to wane. But it can be done,
Mhm.
right? So if this is you, if you have been in a relationship where it's like y'all not listening to each other anymore, you might have to be the first one to shut it up
Yeah.
and acknowledge and say, babe, I see your point.
Mhm.
And don't say nothing else. Let me get off this, Andrew. Big up, Andrew, NYC. I am now grabbing the opportunities by the horn and reining them in. I will be consulting a management company, that has a great talent that is growing. Finding balance and dating is hard. Hello, we going. That's another conversation, Andrew. I see you. Mr. Untouchable says, wow, 6,000 plus more than. He's giving me a round number. Happy New Year. Ebony, nice to see you. Happy New Year. I'm grateful that you're here. Mr. Untouchable said the virgin is very sharp. That brother is very sharp. I see you. I see you. Let's get the likes up. Y'all hit the like button. We're going to wrap up a little bit because I'm going to go over to the Patreon at about 2 Eastern with some final thoughts when it comes to this program, the last program, and again, looking forward to 2022. So if you're not a member of the Patreon, please consider joining. We are coming in strong, coming in hot for the 2022. I wanted to kick it off day one of the year. So join me over there if you can. Okay. Let me see. Grandma of 11 says, I've tried to accept others' feelings rather than my intent. Apologizing for causing a bad feeling doesn't cost anything. Wisdom. The I'm sorry goes so far. And I don't know why we're so afraid to use it. Why are we so afraid to admit when we're wrong? Why are we so afraid to do that?
Can I add something? Here's what I find, because people accept apology differently, right? So some people may be okay with "I'm sorry," but some people may want more than that. They want to, just don't tell me, show me. So it all depends on how we want to be apologized to, or request to be sorry. So we have to decide, who am I talking to? Know the person. How do they want an apology? But I find that just saying "I'm sorry" is a good place to start. Is a starter. Is, to me, there's need to be something else to close that loop. And so what I teach and help my clients and talk about is how there are three things you have to consider when you're requesting an apology, or you're stating an apology. Is simply saying, I'm sorry is a place to start. I was wrong. Please forgive me. Those three have to be included if I know I did something wrong. If I'm not sure I did something wrong, but I still have stepped on someone's toes and they're letting me know, but I didn't realize I did, then all I need to say, I'm sorry, please forgive me. Those two have to always be there. I was wrong is if I know I intentionally did something that I'm aware of that caused pain. So I find with to close the loop. So I'm sorry is just a opener, but to close the loop, I need to end with please forgive me. Because if I don't request that, the person does think like, okay, it's not really genuine. It's not even teaching my brain to learn the pain of empathy. Because when I say I'm sorry, I was wrong. Please forgive me. The pain of me saying that, especially from a Jamaican culture, for me, that my dad, he never ever, he's never ever wrong. I mean, and I love my dad. He's dead now, but I realized that my dad really, for him, is a hard school, right?
Taught the things.
Right.
We love
And,
our parents. That's another thing I'm telling you. Within cultures of color, we
yeah,
don't want to say nothing bad about mommy and daddy because we
exactly. And that's, yeah,
but
they're
we
not
can
they're not
acknowledge
perfect.
it.
They're not perfect, right? So
Yes.
I wasn't taught how to say I'm sorry, I was wrong. When I learned that and realized I had to say to my son many years ago when I was much younger, and I had to say to him, son, Anthony, I was wrong. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. It took everything out of me to say those words.
Ah,
It was like
it goes against parent versus child. I
everything,
hear you. I
everything,
hear you.
everything. But I'm telling you that once I realized the power of that, it reconnects what you disconnected. I'm
Amen.
so sorry.
Amen.
I'm wrong. Please forgive me. That
Mm.
my brain now learned the pain of saying, please forgive me. I want to do less of that to hurt someone else. So it's teaching my brain to do less of the offenses that I'm so often ready to do.
Ooh, we helping somebody get themselves, their family together in 2022. We helping people here. Somebody got to remind us how to do this thing called life Somebody got to remind us there are new tools that we never learned. As he said, my parents never said, sorry for what? Sorry for who? Sorry. Sorry, I bust your tail. That's just sorry. You're like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I'm sorry for saying. You should have said sorry.
Yep.
Never learn how to say sorry from parents, particularly West Indian parents. They're not having it. However, we can be different. We can form different patterns and utilize different tools. So that might be a muscle we need to strengthen going into 2022 for a peaceful household, Lord. For a peaceful household, Lord. Where am I going to change? Not him, not them. Where am I going to change so that my household is more peaceful and loving and connected? Oh, okay. I'm gonna step on them toes. Let's get into this chat. Let's see. I dropped the link. If you want to come up a few minutes, I'm gonna start my Patreon at 2 though. I want to get a good hour with my patrons. But I'm gonna allow, if I know you, come on up. No, just kidding. Come on up. If you want to make some New Year's, Happy New Year greetings. I'm gonna start with any of my patrons first, and I want to hear what you guys have to say after you've marinated on this conversation. I'm really, really. Urban Lady says I'm a listener too. I can listen forever. I like to speak, y'all can tell, but I can listen. Yay, hey, Sunbreeze, thank you. What do you think? And pause. Don't say nothing after. Ask the one you love, what do you think? And smile and give a loving gesture, a cuddle, and let them answer. And shut up and don't say nothing else. It is the hardest thing sometimes to do because you want to get your point across. But we've got to make the other person, as Kingsley said, feel heard and acknowledged. Oh, we saving some lives today. Thank you, Joan. Appreciate your love, darling. Somebody pass the collection plate. You so funny. Real deal, Spencer. You can come by, but here go to Cash App just in case y'all want to drop a little something on it. On for the new year as we build. Thank you. All of y'all who have been participating in chat, you guys make this happen. Hit the like button. Get them likes up. I want 100 likes. Get the likes up because I want people to see it. The more times you hit like or comment, the more this stream gets shared. So as we finalize our how to be the new you in 2022, I'm going to ask Kingsley to give us some kind of final thoughts. Again, I dropped the link. If you want to come up now. I'm getting ready to start my Patreon discussion and kind of put a bow on this over on Patreon at around 2 Eastern. I'm going to take a quick sip of water and go. Kingsley Grant is who you're listening to. Yo, he bringing that fire today. We hopefully have allowed you some new perspectives, some new tools on things that you can do better to not only improve yourself, but also your family life in 2022. Will you implement them? Will you implement them? Yes, you can. That's what we want from this discussion here. Y'all, we enjoying ourselves. Let me see it in the chat. Again, this is Suzette Speaks, TV host and attorney and YouTuber here from South Florida on this beautiful first day of January. Y'all can believe it, 2022. It just even sounds crazy. It sounds like a Jetson year, George Jetson them from the cartoon. It just seems so far out, but yet here we are. And we are on the brink of some greatness, guys. Our world is just, filled with, artificial intelligence now. People going to space and whatnot, and so many different possibilities. So we are blessed to be in a world like we are in today, even though it can be overwhelming with, the mundane obligations of life. But we still got to see all the potential outside of ourselves and for our personal growth. That's what we want. All right. So y'all come on up. Oh, Andrew's in the back. Walk one. Let me back to you. Wagwan, how are you?
Hello, how you doing?
I can only see you on Insta. Wagwan, Happy New Year.
How you doing? Just want to wish everyone a Happy New Year and blessings for their futures and all their endeavors. Thank you. I'm a person that trips into most circumstances. Sometimes certain journeys end abruptly outside of the plans that I had made. That's when I got divorced and the other family situations came up at once. So I said, I had to roll with it. Family got a little sick. So I had to humble myself. I got real humble in the last 5-6 years because I was having a smooth run, but I had to work. But then as things went on, I became a single parent, took care of my child, raised her up. She's now a 12-year-old feisty picnic now, 5 foot, 5.5 inches. And I'm saying this publicly. I'm still want to find out who this Mathis is that she likes. I don't know who he really looks like. I'm still gonna look for him. I'm making it public. I'm looking for the boy. But
sound like a true Jamaican. Yes, go ahead.
No, but like recently, I've always dabbled in entertainment, as you know, Suzette. I come across people every so often. So with my positive dumb luck, I bumped into a talent that's been out there and performed with Jim Jones, to name a few people. So I was asked by the person to work with them. And ironically, they are also affiliated with one of the special services for the state of New York, and they were appointed to that position. So I get the 2-for-1 deal. So, again, like I tell you, I got a load of people for you that you won't even believe. Wow. That just keeps on coming in. So I trip into these people because that's the way I am. I've been active politically on a small scale, but I know the right people.
Yeah. No, we're gonna tap in. And what happened to your screen? You got a little halo effect. Somebody put on a there you go. I was like, whoa. Keep my hand on the button.
Listen, in this house, my family, we're like Bob Vila. We got motion lights and everything else. I got Alexa all over the place. I can't say certain words or everything goes on and off. But no, I mean, I just want to maximize opportunities. Absolutely. I have friends that have other platforms outside of YouTube that they actually have the full license to, because these other things will allow people like yourselves to, I don't want to say it this way to get you in trouble, but you can do your own marketing, have your own slot, and get your own sponsors that will pay you to do certain things, even for a period of time during the week.
You mean for content creation? I understand what you're saying. Wow.
Yeah, so I have that, or I have access to that. I tripped into that because, again, these are people I've known for 20 years, and they happen to trip into things. I couldn't even say it online yet because certain things I have confidentiality agreements literally signed. But the thing is, but the thing is this: you have to just take advantage of whatever comes your way. Yeah. The best things in life are not always planned, I was the youngest. My parents had me in their 30s as a West Indian family. So it's funny. I was a late picnic, so I was a spoiled one per se, But I could say that life is still great. Again, I trip into different things. Like I'm a true West Indian guy. I'm a notary public, real estate agent. I consult, and I have enough jobs. That's what we do.
10 jobs. But no, I think your point is well taken, because sometimes, again, what we get caught up in is the plan. The plan is, I had to do this by, I needed to get this done before. No, as you were saying, even right now, opportunities kind of come to you, drop in your lap, unexpected, and we got to be flexible to take advantage of them. So that's a big testimony right there. As you can see, this man has a lot of wisdom. I just, we've gotten to learn each other through YouTube. And meeting him from being one of my wonderful subs here, and kind of just getting to know you and seeing all the ways in which you know New York and all that good stuff, both on the political side and entertainment sides. So proud of you, and I'm wishing you the best. And we'll be chatting offline about some other stuff. But I appreciate you so much.
Listen, I love the show. I definitely want to give you support, and make sure you get links for us to push it on to all the other people. You gotta get the lights back on. Make sure we have other links for people that we could pass on and let other people know what you guys are doing. Kingsley, I love the name, by the way. That's like the most regal name I've ever heard. I'm like jealous. I'm like, damn, that's wild. I'm like, ladies love Kingsley. Come on, look at that name. You can't go wrong. Exactly. It's a bad man name,
No, for real. And it is typical. I like it. It's very British. Kingsley.
I want to ask you, Kingsley, because I missed certain parts. What areas do you service?
I'm in South Florida. So my license is in Florida. So I just but as a coach, I do, of course, international, but I'm speaking, but my license for counseling is strictly for Florida.
I tell you this much:
when people remotely from other places, though.
Not across state line unless you're licensed in another state.
Got it.
But you have multiple licenses, you can. But right now, I can only do it for Florida because that's the only state I'm licensed. I'm not interested in expanding. I have enough clients I can see here, so I don't really. Yeah.
Okay, cool. But for coaching, you're international.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Oh man, I'm gonna set some. I will plan to set something up. Maybe I could get you guys up because we're spoiled in the way we are. Like I'm a little spoiled per se, but the family has an asset upstate New York that has a couple of rooms, like 7 bedrooms. So I might try to get some of you guys to come up collectively and then you could do something group up there from the Catskills.
Oh wow!
So like, no, yeah.
Like okay, now okay, wow.
And I'm oh listen, it's not what you know, it's who you know.
Yes.
And I might slip in someone interesting. I was gonna do this to you one day, Suzette. I was gonna bring one of my friends online with you, someone that you know their songs. I might bring one or two of them on for you. That'd be funny.
Not the celebrity.
Oh no, that's easy. That's easy.
Oh, I appreciate it. Wow. Well, thank you. I know so many, like I said, I know you're very well connected. I appreciate all the support. I know I have not been the best about following up, but 2022 come. We have a lot more shows. You guys know I like he's talking about politics because I do want to bring back some of my political shows. I've been doing a lot of personal development shows, even on Saturday, but typically Saturdays I try to do a little bit of politics too. So I'm going to be there. A couple people I need to reach out to probably tomorrow. Start back my emails and getting back into the groove. I was enjoying my full time off. Trust and believe. I had a little bit of work to do. I was like, I'm out of town. That was the first time I went up to Tampa. That was the first time I really been out of town for the entire pandemic. Can you believe it? I have been very quiet. Some people been traveling like crazy. No judgment. I have been in my house. My spirit told me to stay. You're behind home. So that was like my friend pushed me. Come on, let's go. And I'm glad I did. But yeah. So now we got to get focused again.
Well, listen. I tell you this much. I mean, I'm go out, but I go upstate to the country. I got 5 acres up there. No one's gonna bug me or sneeze on me, so I'm happy. So that's my whole thing.
No Omarion up there. So no Omarion. Yeah. Well, listen, I appreciate you, my darling. I'm gonna jump off.
Great speaking to you guys.
Patreon in a little bit. But
thank you.
Lots of love.
Mr. Kingsley, salute.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
From the NYC. Appreciate all you do. Thank you so much.
Take care.
Andrew. All right, appreciate you coming up. I think you'll be my only caller today, because I'm going to jump off now and join the Patreon in about a few minutes. But Kingsley, I wanted to give you the last word. Thank you, Andrew. Andrew from New York coming up and giving us some good insight. I love y'all, and I appreciate all of you guys who are a part of this. Each and every time I come on live, each and every time I'm doing a show, I'm going to be speaking at a women's conference. I need to post that. I'll be speaking at a virtual women's conference in January. Oh my gosh, I haven't posted it yet. I'll probably post it tomorrow. I'll be speaking at a virtual women's conference. I won't say when because I'm not remembering right now, but I'll be sure to share that with you. Thank you. Big up Cash App donation from Phil. Big up yourself, Phil C. Thank you so much for showing some love. Thank you to my stream sponsor, Red Pill Hustle. Thank you to anybody else who has shown love and just been a participant today. Thank you. Let's read the last comments here in the chat. Ooh, we shut up, unheard after facing life outside, right? So we got some work to do. Thank you, Grandma of 11. Appreciate you. Phil, thank you, Phil Cobb, for that wonderful Cash App. And he says, I was a horrible listener, but improved in a sales arena. Okay. I still got to improve on my family side. Help us all, Lord. We're working on it. We're together in this, Phil. It's like I can't shut up. Control freak. Listen, there are men who are controlling. There are women who are controlling. At least you know that about yourself. So you can try in this moment. Hold my tongue. Stop. Listen. Let them speak first. What do they think? It's hard, especially if we have strong personalities and we've grown in that pattern, right? But if you have a willingness and an intention to change, you can start. You're not going to get it right all the time, but start. I appreciate you, my brother. Yay, Phil. Thank you again. Happy New Year in the grill. Boop, 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 boop. I wish I can go to Jamaica one time in 2022, y'all. I hope this thing kind of settles down. That is my desire. If I could just be on a Jamaican beach, one good party. Outdoor, of course. I would love. Oh my God, I miss Jamaica. I've not been obviously in this whole time. So, Grandma of 11 says yes, and stating your understanding of reaction and how you cause the hurt. Yes. Acknowledge how and that you're sorry, not just sorry. I want to do better. Happy Adventurous 2022. Thank you, Veggie. Urban Lady adds, Phil, listen with intent of understanding, not responding. That's all of us. Help us all. I had to force myself. Yes. Help us all. Hey, Marlene TV. We're wrapping up here. Thank you guys so much. Hit the like button. Grandma of 11 adds, this can be especially hard to learn and do after many years. And mind you, I'm reading mostly those who are members of my Patreon. I see all the comments, but I want to make sure I get my Patreon member. She says this can be especially hard to listen and do after many years about believing it's a certain way. Hello, somebody. Marlene say, yeah, man, I know what I'm Jamaican parents. I love it. Girl Living, unlearning the practices and beliefs is a whole subject. Yes, we just very much scratching the surface here. Appreciate y'all. Scottsdale, Arizona. Welcome. Primrose been here living in Scottsdale, Arizona. Welcome and thank you so very much for watching. I appreciate you guys. I'm just looking over. Drop the Patreon link. Hello, we gonna drop it. I will. Never, you're welcome. It's just patreon.com/Suzette Speaks. Kingsley, I'm gonna give you the last word as I leave the Patreon. And you guys give me until about maybe 2:15 to start the Patreon. We're gonna take a quick break. Kingsley, if you have time, you have the link. You can come over. If not, that's okay too. But I would love for you to kind of put a bow on everything that we've been talking about today. Go ahead.
So I want to say thank you so much for having me here and for your audience. And I think there's tremendous energy and just really the dynamic of this show is so uplifting, encouraging. And I think it's so spot on and much so needed, especially in this time that we're living in. So I want to thank everyone for listening and just participating inside this show. And I want to just wrap it up with this. And it's a quote that I have lived by and really made it, even though it's not my own originally. It was a late Zig Ziglar who said this, but I've really embraced it and constantly repeating it and use it as my closer. So he says that you don't have to be great to start, but you must start to be great. Therefore, I say start someplace. That's my closer.
Amen. I'm reading. I like to get in my comments. They still are. Andrew talk about, yes, Andrew. We know we want to be up into the Catskills with Andrew. Y'all so funny. I love Kingsley. They what they talk about Kingsley Maxi Priest Grant? What is that? The cool coach. Okay, inside joke maybe. I don't know.
I'm not sure about
the new name. Is closed, guys. I'm going over to the Patreon. Running to the gym. That's no problem. Listening if you can, Urban Lady. We're just going to talk. I have some advice on what I want y'all to do. A couple exercises I want y'all to do for the new year. But I've appreciated each and every one of you being a part of this Happy New Year stream. Grateful heart, grateful spirit, grateful mind, Lord. Help us to implement new skills, new patterns, new ways of being, ways of thinking, so that we can go as far and touch people's lives in the most positive way we can. People remember how you made them feel. So hopefully we are going to be moving in a little bit of different ways, making our adjustments as difficult as they can be so that we can get the outcomes that we want. That's what it's about, getting the outcomes that we want. We love you. We see all of you. Good. Great live. Thank you, Goldie. Smell good. I love it. Happy New Year to you. Ling says big respect to Sir Kingsley. So excited to see your growth in 2020. Thank you, my brother. Thank you, Links. Appreciate you so very much. Thank you to my moderators. Thank you, RM. Appreciate you. Happy New Year to you, darling. One of the best moderators in the game. Shout out to Gail at night, too, that joins me as a moderator. And Gaston's World. Thank you so much to my moderators for helping me out. Y'all see the Patreon right here. Just go to patreon.com/Suzette Speaks to join our conversations. We'll be having them monthly, probably more often. And I really appreciate all those who are showing the support for this type of content and programming. But yes, just start. Just start. Just start. Y'all, I love y'all. I can't even go any further. Love you so much. Hit the like button and we're going to go take a little break. Kingsley, you're welcome to join over on the Patreon. About 10 minutes. Give me 10 minutes. Love on all. Happy New Year. All right, guys. I'll see you soon. God bless each and every one of you. Thank you for being here. Okay. Love and appreciate your support. Take care. See you guys soon. Bye. Enjoy your 2022. See you soon. Tuesday. I'm sorry. How do I have to go? Tuesday. I'm starting with a wonderful woman, Laura Knight. Tuesday at 3:00. No. We're going to do it late. I think 7. Tuesday is going to be Black artists and Black art. I can't wait. We're going to do it a little bit different. Black art from a woman who is a creator Oh my gosh, I love her work. So we're gonna talk a little bit about that on Tuesday with Laura Knight. Is that a TV day? Yeah, this what? Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Links. I appreciate you. I see you. I know what you meant. TV show. I see you. That's thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. Joan says this channel is a light in the tunnel. I appreciate that. That's what we're trying to be. We're trying to uplift, educate, right? Enlighten so that we have change within our community. It starts from here, then through the family and relationships that we create, and therefore the community and all the rest of the institutions that are built. All right, for real. Love or no, me have to go. Me talk to you soon. Take care. Big up yourselves, Jamaicans.com, and all my sister simulcast. Thank you so much for being a part. All right, bye, YouTubers. Love you. See you guys soon. Bye for real. Thanks, Kingsley. Thank you for being here. Bye for long goodbyes. Talk to you